The question is if it's like, here's what I think's going on.
Yeah.
If you're a team that thinks it's got a chance, you're going to go after Jrue Holiday. But you know what? You also have heard Chris Paul's available still. And you know what? Chris Paul could still be a valuable piece to a team, like a Boston or a Miami,
I hear you.
or maybe one of the LA teams. So that's to me why I think the Warriors are involved in this.
So the Warriors' phone could be ringing.
I think that's possible.
And this is random, Steiny. This is so random, Evan. But I talk about, let's just say there's no deal done, and I get to watch my guy, Jonathan Kuminga. We do Dub Nation. But I just thought about a team to where if he was on that team, it would be the best fit since a hand in the glove, and that would be the Dallas Mavericks. They have nothing remotely close like a Jonathan Kuminga. And for Kyrie and Luka to be able to just bring him, oh, man, just when I think of Dallas and they're soft, the power that Kuminga could play with, knowing that he's going to get 25 to 30 minutes a game, match made in heaven.
Kuminga. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I thought you meant CP3 to the Mavericks.
He's probably going to throw something at me.
No one's going to throw something at you. Nishi in San Martin.
Hey.
What's up, Nishi? How you doing?
Hey, Steiny. Yeah, it's Nishi from TJ Martin. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Hey, man, I haven't talked to you since you went to Ireland a couple months ago, so glad to be back on the air.
Thank you.
And, a couple of things I wanted to touch on today on today's show. I know you guys are talking Warriors and trade talks and things like that, and, I can't really speculate on what Mike Dunleavy Jr. is going to do. I mean, if they stick with Paul, that's fine. If they can get Jrue Holiday for a good deal, I think that's also fine, right? But, hey, have you guys gotten to touch on the San Francisco Giants today? Because I don't want to jump shift the conversation, but I think we need to do a collective effort on shaming this Giants ownership. Steiny, what do you think about that? I mean, they've been cheap from the get-go. I think we as an entire station need to come after this Giants regime until we see change. I mean, what do you think, Steiny Guru?
You missed yesterday's show too, in the start of it. If you want to go find it, we went in heavy. We weren't the only show, but man.
Yeah,
they're kind of a pinata now. They're easy to hit.
They are. 888-957-9570 is the number. Some news percolating around the Warriors, and it involves Chris Paul and possibly Jrue Holiday. Here's what's going on. Jrue Holiday was just traded from the Bucks to the Portland Trailblazers for Damian Lillard in a deal. But the Portland Trailblazers have no interest in Jrue Holiday because they're tearing it down. They're tearing it down. And the question then becomes, do the Warriors have any interest in Jrue Holiday? And I think the obvious answer would be, well, sure, of course, we'll listen. You got to listen. He's a good player. So then the question becomes, what would you give up for Jrue Holiday? Would you give up Chris Paul, Jonathan Kuminga, and a pick, and a first-round pick, let's say, in 2026? To me, oh, boy,
you know my answer.
I think I'm saying no to that, believe it or not. I don't like the idea of getting any more old. And, like, they're already old.
Right.
Now they're going to keep being old, but get rid of their two opportunities for young guys to come in and inject some support.
But, Steiny, Jrue Holiday's got at least 3 good years left.
He may retire at the end of this year. That's what he's been talking about, retiring. Now, he's got a player option, so people are going to be like, well,
he talked about retiring in Milwaukee, which is now out the window.
At the end of this year.
He wanted to finish his career with Milwaukee.
Okay.
Right.
So maybe he's got 2 years left. Or maybe he would want to play more for the Warriors. More years.
That would extend the Big Three's window, and that's my more concern than the future.
I know. It's everybody's more concerned with the present than the future, but somebody's got to think about the future a little bit. Just a little.
How valuable do you think the Warriors' first-round picks are going to be?
Oh, my God.
Do you think that's part of the hang-up, too?
Well, I'll tell you right now, if I'm an opposing team dealing with the Warriors, and they throw around these picks later in the 2020s like they don't care, I would absolutely
be gobbling them up.
Oh, my God, yes. My God. I would make a deal with the Warriors and take their pick in 2026 and think maybe Curry retires in 2025. And then what?
Well, that ain't.
What do you mean that ain't?
If it was 2025, that's a problem, JD Voice. But he ain't going nowhere.
Okay, it's 2028, and
now,
Curry retires in 2027. And now you don't have a pick.
Yeah,
you're not going to want to not have your first round pick the first year Steph Curry is not a Warrior.
I'll give you that.
I don't think.
I'll give you that.
I mean, it's easy to throw caution to the wind.
And when's that day? What year is that, though? You know, Steiny?
Sean in Oakland. Hey, Sean, how you doing?
Doing well. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
I don't think it makes a difference if the Warriors get what's the guy's name?
Jrue Holiday?
Jrue Holiday or not. You know, I think getting another guard just doesn't make sense to me. The Warriors need help on their front line scoring at that. Comparing them to the other teams in the West, like the Suns, the Lakers, and the Nuggets, I just don't see how he will help out against their front lines. So it just doesn't make a difference to me.
All right, appreciate the call. I think he's an upgrade over Chris Paul.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. And that would be an exchange. So it ain't like you're keeping Chris. Well, you lose a wing in Kuminga, but it's not like you're keeping Chris Paul and you're adding your boy. You would do an even exchange.
Somebody bringing up something on the Comcast business text line, and it's the kind of thing that's fascinating to me. It's a language thing, and I think it's the kind of thing that I enjoy. From the 209, you said, who'd you call a piñata?
The Giants.
Yeah, you said the Giants are easy to hit as a piñata, and somebody who's kind of like me out there said, is a piñata really easy to hit?
Come on.
I mean, you are blindfolded.
But you can see through about half of them. Come on, man.
I mean, sometimes you're whacking at that thing for hours and you can't get it open.
Oh, boy.
Anyway, thanks, 209.
Well, if you're a Giants hitter.
That's a 3.5. That's a 4.
That might be better than my Rudy Gay and Ben Gay.
No, you should have.
I should have tucked that.
You should have set that up.
Oh, man. Evan said if you're a Giant, you got to play that for the boys at the Shantay's over.
Rafi in Berkeley.
Oh, boy.
He says he's got a hot take.
Oh, give it to us. This is the show.
Oh, you know what I would do, gentlemen, if I was a true cold-blooded
I know what you do.
Of the Golden State Warriors, what am I going to do? Read my mind.
Oh, tell him, Steiny.
Trading Klay.
I'm trading Klay. Off the bat, I say Klay. It's been real. Jrue Holiday, lockdown defender. I've got Chris Paul, who I think is actually going to be a great fit leading the second unit, feeding Kuminga,
you coaching?
Able to distribute, able to balance things out, sometimes playing at the end. I don't really think he's going to be a starter, but I'm shipping Klay, man, and that's all I got to say about it.
Real quick, Rafi, though, I got to follow up with one question. If you're Portland,
go ahead.
If you're Portland, it makes it sound it might have to be a 3-way deal. But
it might, but you're getting a savvy vet. Klay's playing the 3. Klay's in some small ball lineup.
Yeah,
Klay's playing the 4 almost these
days.
I think he can set the tone in a locker room. He's going to be able to educate some real young shooters.
They might be able to pay him too.
Yeah,
he wants to win.
Does he?
I see Portland liking Klay.
Wow,
interesting.
That don't fit with what we think is going on.
Appreciate
I love
it.
Klay, Steiny, and what's left and what he's got left.
You guys are so scared.
Come on.
How do you live your life so timid? Seriously. Life should be lived. It's an adventure. Don't be scared, dog.
The guy afraid of mice. We both are. Steiny, come on, Portland, that ain't a fit. I don't think Klay would be a fit.
Okay, they ship him
Klay
to Miami.
Would be attracted.
They ship him to Miami.
Oh, then they would come on now.
Okay.
Who was offering
but you don't want to do
that
it.
deal
But you're
for
saying
Dame?
no. That's the point.
Yeah.
You're saying
I don't want my team to be the shooting of the Golden State Warriors, Batman and Robin, just to be Batman. There is nothing like Klay Thompson on fire, like we saw last year in those 2 months, December, January, where Curry was out a little bit. My goodness, that is overwhelming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jrue Holiday may make more threes in the postseason than Klay. They didn't make any in the postseason last year. And he was terrible the first 2 months
I
of the
want to call
season.
you a tool, but I know you're trolling.
I mean, for all, and this is the thing. I don't, they're not going to trade.
They're not.
Okay. Do you believe this or not?
Because I'm always honest with you.
When you say they're not trading Klay Thompson, you're probably right. But I believe Joe Lacob would trade Klay Thompson for something that would make them better as a team and give them more flexibility moving forward.
Does Jrue Holiday fit that bill that you just spoke of?
Pretty close. I mean, pretty close. Now you got a good defender you can pair.
But now you only got pretty much one shooter,
okay.
and Wiggins on a good day.
Okay, but you got a better defender, and you got a better overall player. Just saying. Mark in San Francisco. What's up, Mark? How you doing?
Hey, Steiny Guru. I'm just very clinical about it.
Okay.
You know, I would trade Klay. I love Klay, but just looking at him objectively, the way he's played the last couple of years, I mean, he shoots us out of games. So, and Kuminga, I would never get rid of Kuminga. I saw him give Luka Doncic problem 2 years ago, one-on-one. I saw him give LeBron problems defensively, one-on-one. I would not trade Kuminga for anybody.
But listen, let me ask you this about Kuminga. Don't you think now with Draymond, Wiggins, Jackson Dayton, there's a roadblock for Kuminga? I agree with everything you said. I saw Kuminga pick those guys up, LeBron 94 feet a couple years ago. I just think there's a roadblock here for him to be satisfied and reach his full potential.
I agree with you 100%, Guru, and that roadblock is Klay. He's also the secondary scorer. He should be the secondary scorer, in my opinion, the starters. That should be Wiggins.
And you know what? I love
Klay.
Clay's been sliding to 3 more. Wiggins plays some 4.
Yeah, now that's coming in. Wow.
Appreciate the call. Gutsy.
Man. But trading Klay, what would it do for business?
It would be, what do you mean?
Like the
I think they'd still sell out next year.
PR.
I think they would sell out next year.
You're right. You got the chef. Wow, man.
I mean, the thing that would be unbelievably appealing to that is, man, you could see, then you don't have to pay Klay. I'm not saying they should do it, but
that's another part of this.
I just think Joe Lacob is the kind of guy who I think he would trade anybody but Steph. I really do. Am I a jerk?
I want to say only sometimes, but go ahead, Steiny. You walked into that one.
Like, if I would truly ask Warrior fans this, so you might have a chance, like the Klay Thompson thing, all right? You might be better as a team, possible, and you might be better for the future flexibility-wise. So if I told you that you might be better now and you'd be in a better position a year or two from now, you really hold on to Klay Thompson because why?
What he's done.
Okay.
Well, and what he's meant to this community,
and that's where I think Joe Lacob would part ways with.
And you could be right. You could be right
because you owe the Bay Area more than you owe Klay. Benny's in San Jose. Benny.
Hello. How's it going?
Hey, Benny. What's up, buddy?
A few things. I'm just listening to the show. I was wondering if you guys had a stat for how many buckets Chris Paul has put up against the Warriors in the last few years versus Jrue Holiday. And I think we keep Klay just because of the way Steph feels about him.
Appreciate the call. I would be willing to say Jrue Holiday scored more points against the Warriors than Chris Paul.
I remember it. When did they play? Was it Christmas? A couple years ago. Jrue does well.
I mean, yeah, it's interesting stuff. Interesting stuff coming out of Chase Center. And, you know, I don't usually like to do, well, I do like to do this. And I guess adding to the intrigue, Steve Kerr was supposed to be on the morning show today at 9.
Yeah, that is.
He canceled.
Man.
Why would he cancel?
Percolating.
Why would he cancel?
Business, Steiny.
My first thought was maybe he's getting an extension.
That's leader of my clubhouse.
Okay, but I don't think you cancel an interview because you're getting extended.
What if he was sick? Wasn't feeling good.
Was his birthday yesterday?
Oh, boy. Little yak. Little yak.
Actually, Golden State Warriors not interested in Jrue Holiday. Steve Kerr simply hung over.
Oh, boy. Steve got after it. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. That's a good one.
No, Evan with the intel.
Marlo.
The Henny's undefeated.
Hey, what's up, buddy? Morello.
Hey, what's up, boy?
Hey, man.
Hey, what's up, boys? Been a while. Good to talk to you. Hey,
Yes, sir.
Hey there, Matt. Hey, here's my point. I'm not going for a Jrue Holiday over Klay, and it's nothing sentimental. It's just fit.
Okay.
You get rid of Klay Thompson right now. Who's shooting the rock? As far as I'm concerned, Holiday shot 26% from the 3 last season.
Mm-hmm.
You already brought a guy who's not a great shooter in Chris Paul. And so you already have Draymond and Looney on the court. So who's shooting the ball? We're going to have to bring Steph to his 26-year-old to be able to beat these guys with his shooting. I don't think it's a good fit.
I agree.
And morale-wise, I don't think it fits the morale of the club. I think you're going to shoot yourself on the foot.
Well, forget about Klay. How about Kuminga? Would you be willing?
I'm keeping the roster as it is because I want to ask you a question. Didn't we just sign Rudy Gay?
Yeah, but he's got to make the team. He's old.
Oh, okay. No, but I like the roster the way it is. I don't think I'm keeping Kuminga and Moody for this next phase of the Warriors. And no, I'm good. I'm good where we are. Let Jrue Holiday find his home, maybe in the East Coast where he was. But let's move on to what we've got. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Murillo. I mean, when you say who's going to shoot, Chris Paul's a good shooter. Chris Paul makes shots. 47% career, 38 from
But he
three.
don't shoot it like Klay, the volume.
Well, but he shoots.
That's part of the offense, Donnie. Catch and shoot.
I mean, he shot 6 a game when he was with Houston. Even last year, he shot 4.5 a game. I mean, this is okay. If you think Klay's getting better, then probably hold on to him. But
coming off an off season and putting in that work.
Supposedly.
We saw it.
We saw what?
Him playing, I think it was at the gym in New York.
One video does not mean that a guy has been working out all summer.
Okay, what about the driveway thing where he had the sled and he was moving the sled up the driveway to work on his legs? That was early.
And Draymond's going to work on his three-pointer.
No,
He's been working on his three-pointer.
And
Wiseman was doing unbelievable things, dribbling full court in the site. That gets me.